Well, a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Delta T Racing. It is Thursday night, and we're coming live for the first time this week or this season for Division Number 2. We've had a few commentary problems this season, but we're getting them sorted. We should hopefully have all three divisions streamed live very, very shortly. But as I say, tonight I've dropped myself out of the driver's seat to bring you comms. So we've small grid tonight. We've got 12 drivers. 5 of them will be playing their jokers tonight. So obviously, if you don't know, they'll be starting at the back of the grid. And I'm probably deafening you. I've just noticed my... Let me try that. Might be a little bit better. Playing the joker, you start at the back of the grid. But any points that you score during the race are doubled, and with 12 people taking part in the race today, it's pretty possible that you can get yourself some big points. So we'll keep an eye on them. But right, okay, first person out of the pits, I think it was one of the Mercedes, wasn't it? I think it might have been Stewart as the first one out, so we'll keep an eye on him. Apologies, I am just going to mess about with the levels ever so slightly, just to get this right. Okay, so Stewart is on the first lap, so it goes down to turns 1 and 2 pretty well. So bear with me just 1 second, sorry about this. Right, hopefully that'll be a little bit better on the levels, we'll have to see. Okay, so Stewart now coming around to Lesmo 1. And into Lesmo 2 will be the first one to put a lap on the board tonight. Talking to the jokers, we have Summers, Romero, Kazingle, Guna and Pipke all taking playing their jokers tonight. So it could be some big points on the table. Okay, so jumping on board with Stewart, literally coming down now into the Parabolica. The Alvarado turn, I think it's called, but we'll stick to Parabolica. And cross onto the start finish line to post a 1:19.051. So that is the time for everybody to beat, or everybody that is undertaking a lap tonight anyway. On with Bogorovsky. I think he's probably going to be the next person to set a lap here. Takes the chicane pretty well. To Curva Grande. Oh no, it's past Curva Grande, wasn't he? So yeah, apologies. So coming up now towards Ascari. Looks like he has aborted there. Okay, so who's going to be next? Is it Andre? Oh, Andre is just about to cross the line. Or 1:20.649. So 1.6 seconds down. But I don't think he was pushing too much on that one. We'll see if he improves. Cavolis currently in 7th. But a yellow flag in this section. Obviously just down to slow moving traffic ahead. But if he could pick himself up a nice toe off a couple of cars here, it would do him well. So there we go, past one of the Mercedes there, which I think is probably Stewart recovering to the pit lane. So Gavotis now coming around onto the style up 19.311. So a 0.3 second lead now for Stewart at the head of the table. Benny just starting his lap Bog on a lap as well. Let's see who the furthest round. Looks like we have an Aston, but I think that's recovering. Then we've got the Ferrari of Reliot. See, Reliot will be setting a lap, not playing his Joker tonight. In fact, I don't think he actually realised he had a race until the last minute, thanks to his brother for getting him in on time. So Bog now coming through to the end of Sector 2, so 53.0. Let's try and get himself up into those 19s if he can. Certainly put him on the front 2 rows of the grid, but still a few drivers to set their times yet. And Jack going out on the intermediate, I think just for a reconnaissance, also coming into the pits to retire from the session. 19.9 from Bog, so pops himself into 3rd position. So Reliot now just starting his lap. Let's see how Benny gets on at 19.8 for Benny, so he slots into 3rd place. The moment Bog down into 4th position. Reliot, the only other car I think at the moment that's going to be setting a time, so we'll stick with him. A purple Sector 1. He's certainly on the pace here. Let's see if he can challenge Stewart of a 19.051. I want to stick it into the 18s if he can. DRS open wide, heading up towards the Ascari chicane. Pretty well driven. Could have carried a little bit more speed through there, but it was good. So we get a good exit onto the straight here as he goes around parabolic, and we'll see what time Reliot can post on the board. Obviously tyres are going to be a major concern here, because I think it was always quite bad on tyres anyway. 20.1 for Reliot there. I think he's got a little bit more in him. Obviously the last minute jump on, he's got to get himself all set up and ready, but hopefully he has a setup on the car. Okay, so pretty much everyone into the pits now. Reliot will be recovering to the pits once he's finished taking out some polystyrene. Andre on an outlap, and Zetterwall also on an outlap. Now Zetterwall was leading the championship. I'll bring the table up in a minute. But yeah, Zetterwall about to start his lap now. So drivers table, if we pop it up, you will see that Gunnar is actually leading the championship now with 57 points. Zetterwall in 2nd with 43 points. He did miss the race last week, so he'll be looking at trying to bounce back. So does have oodles of pace. Zetterwall. I expect him to be pretty much at the sharp end of this race as well. Purple Sector 1 backing that up immediately. There's Mo, a little bit wide there, but not too bad. Carries the speed. He'll now get a good run down the straight, approaching Ascari. Flat out and brake as late as you can. Throw that car in. Hope it bites. Throw it right. Hope it bites again, and you can just run under that curb. Carry the speed through on this straight down towards Parabolica, and that final throw towards the start finish line. He has actually invalidated. I missed that. So Zetterwall not going to put a time on the board with that lap. So we'll drop back to Andre in 6th position. See if we can improve on his 20.649. I think he probably can. Probably can't if he's going to do that. Right, so he is also into the pits, so we have nobody out on Stuart Curtis and Benny have all gone out, so on their various outlets. So the first one to cross the line will be Benny, so we'll keep an eye on him. I also want to just make sure on Stuart in the background, we'll just flip towards him when we get to the sectors, just to see how his time is going. Okay, so Benny coming towards the end there, so no fastest for him. Cavolis, anything for him behind? No, he has invalidated. So Benny does have a purple sector 2. Cavolis has invalidated in Stewart. Yeah, Stewart's dropped right back. He's aborted this lap. I think we'll be looking at restoring some ERS and going again. So Benny does come into the pits, obviously after the invalidation for Cavolis as well. So Stewart had invalidated as well, but I think he was just backing up 100% battery, so he will be going for a fresh lap. Elliott is on a lap down into turn number 2, looking to improve on 5th position, 120.166. Certainly got a 19 to him, it's just how low can he get. So no purple in sector 1. Let's go have a quick look to see if Stewart does pick up a purple. He does not. Okay, so could be personal best but not session best from the two of them at the moment. Keeping on with Elliott now, going to Ascari. Takes that well. So he gets quite a good line through that second part, getting quite a bit of grip off of the tyres are going to become more and more difficult as they drop off. Obviously during the race, not so much drop off as in qualify. But here we go, Elliott now cracking on towards the line, and a 19.7, so jumps him up into 3rd position. Stewart's going to be the next one across the line, just going around Parabolica now. We've still got over 4.5 minutes left. So plenty of time for people coming and do another run, which is exactly what Stewart is going to do. He's aborted and will come in. Bogorovsky now 3/10 up on his time, so they're getting about 19.6 at the moment. We can pull some more out of the bag. We'll be looking at the front of the second row, perhaps even onto the front row. We'll see how he gets on. Got a car just in front of him, which seems to be Andre. Andre is also on a lap, so he's not really going to impede Bogorovsky at all. Here we go now. So I'm going to see what Bog can do, and he is a 19.5. So Bog taking that 3rd position on his Andre did improve to a 19.768 as well, so sharing the second row of the grid currently with Bogorovsky. Now I think we're going to have a lull again whilst everybody comes in and although Bog a 1/3 of a second up on his in lap. So perhaps he's going for 2 runs, although looking at the battery, I don't know, he could do. No, they've backed off now. So wasn't sure if they were going for a second run, so it did look a little bit slow, but it's quite deceiving sometimes. Alright, apologies. Still just trying to adjust this microphone just to get it down a bit. I don't want to be too loud. I think that's probably a little bit better, but I'll figure it out during watching it back a bit later. But hopefully people can hear me. I haven't even checked to make sure we're live. There we go. Nearly all the way through qualifying. Haven't even checked that we are live. That's not good. So we are live. That's one good thing. So there's one less thing I have to worry about now. I can just get on with boring the hell out of you for the next while. Okay, so outlap now we have Reliot, who is just ahead of Zettel. That could be interesting. Zettel going to get tough. I think it's just too far here, but could benefit him a bit later in the lap. I've got Cavolis and Stewart on outlaps. Cavolis just through turn one now. We've got Stewart with the Williams of Benny, who is on a lap by the looks of it. So we'll see what Benny can do. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the one I wanted. There we go. Okay, so Benny coming down towards Parabolic at the final corner. It's going to be, I mean, he could do another run, but he's going to be very, very low on ERS. So this is really his final run of the day. What time can he post on the board? A 1:19.2. Bang, up into second position there for Benny. So he posts that mark for second place. Stewart's still ahead 19.0. He did that fairly early on in the session and nobody's been able to beat it yet. Okay, so on laps, I think it was Reliot was going to be... Oh, Bog finished as well, 19.5. Apologies, Bog. I missed the end of your lap there. Sticking on board now with Reliot. 19.7 in sixth position. His current time. Is he going to improve? We've got Zetterall just behind him, who hasn't posted a time yet, so anything's going to be an improvement for him. What is Reliot going to do? Reliot pops up into fifth position. And Zetterall 19.6 into sixth position. Okay, so a bit further up, we've got Cavolis. No, Stewart's going to be the next to cross the line. So can he improve on his 19.0? Not that he really needs to. I think the only one who's going to put him under any pressure at all is going to be Cavolis. Benny is, I believe, on an in-lap. 19.037, so just improves on his time, but just to prove a point, goes that little bit faster. So, okay, Benny has retired. And Cavani's crossing the line, not sure, into third position, so I didn't see his time come up. So pole position for Stewart. I mean, pretty much could have just sat in the garage after setting his initial run and saved himself a set of soft tyres. But does indeed take pole position. Benny taking second place. Cavolis and Barry Bogorowski on the second row of the grid. Third row will be Reliot and Zetterall. Then the fourth row, Andre and Kazingal. Fifth row will be Romero and Pipke, and at the back of the grid on row number 6 will be Summers and Guna. Obviously, the bottom 5 playing their jokers, so it'll be interesting to see where they get to in the race, which we will have coming up very, very shortly. Okay, so it looks like a dry race. Whether it's 100% dry race, unsure at the moment. Not seen any weather reports or anything to say on the contrary. Just getting a quick look in Discord, see if anyone's let me know. Nope. Right, so we will be going blind on the weather, but they'll be sitting their cars up at the moment. I haven't actually had a chance to drive around Monza myself, so it could be a one stop, but I mean on this year's game it is such a stretch, so I think you're going to be looking at a two stop, potentially going for the harder compounds at the beginning, having a medium hard, or that kind of scenario, but a lot depends on safety cars. And we do have the infamous turn 1 to get through. Normally see a few incidents there. Saw a couple of incidents last night where people just missing the braking point. You only need to miss it by a small margin and all of a sudden you are careering towards a gaggle of cars in front of you, and carnage can happen. We've seen a few 10-bin bowling strikes happen down there where we've had I'm sure we've had at least 10 cars skittled out before, but hopefully we'll get through it without any incidents tonight. Okay, as I said earlier, we were just having a quick look at the tables. Let's bring them up quickly. So Guna leading the way with Zetterville in second place. Little Mikey in third. Unfortunately working away this week, so not able to make the race. Bogorovsky in fourth position, just being his good old consistent self, picking up the points. Cavolis in fifth. We've got Reliot, Honey Badger, Pipkey, Benny and Andre rounding out the top 10. And constructor-wise, I'll bring that up as well. But I think, yeah, Ferrari are leading the way by quite a lot. Nearly got double the amount of points of the Haas in second position. And then my team were actually joint second. I didn't realise that. So, yeah, unfortunately, I won't be picking up any points tonight. But hopefully, Bog can do that for us. So, right. What on earth is happening behind those cars? If you can see that on the stream, I think you can. Let's just get rid of that. But yeah, what on earth is happening to those cars? Looks like a heat haze gone wrong. Right, now we'll jump back on board anyway. So anyway, whilst I have been blabbering away, what I haven't done is had a look at the tyres. Pretty much everybody going for a medium other than Andre in seventh, putting on the hard compound. So we'll see. Let's see if that works for us. Okay. So Stuart will be the lead car. Again, apologies for that. Just adjusting the audio slightly as it was a bit loud when we were in the car. But Stuart now coming up to take his grid position on pole position. His tyres don't look too pretty, do they? You know, it's a new set, but they looking a little bit grained already. One lap round Monza in 12. Right, okay, so we are good to go. So we're just waiting for the lights now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights are out and away we go for round 4 of DTR Division 2. A good getaway by Stuart there. Cars behind. We've got a couple going to abreast, but hopefully everybody gets around without too many incidents. In fact, bravo, apart from a teeny bit of carbon fibre, everybody got around without an incident at all. So there we go, good to see that. Stuart keeping the lead, Cavolis in second place. Looks like Summers and Pitkey exchanging positions at the back. I think this is where it could get a little bit spicy at the back at the moment, because we've got some of the faster drivers obviously on there playing their jokers, wanting to get through this field as quickly as possible. Romero already up to 7th position after playing his joker. Nice bit of clear air in front of him, but close enough that he will have the DRS from Rediat. DRS obviously going to be enabled at the end of this lap. Let's get rid of those tyres, apologies. See that. Right, okay, so Stewart leading the way. Cavolis just behind with Benny, very impatiently wanting to get past as quickly as he can. And then get on the back of Stewart. Bogowski in 4th position, so he's holding the fort for us at McLaren tonight. Let's see if we can go a step further and get a podium. But nobody really making a move. Further back, Guna having a look, but deciding against it. Probably sensible, to be honest. You need to be a bit closer than that. Obviously now you can use the DRS, but are we going to get a DRS train, or are we going to get some decent overtakes? Bogus past Benny, I missed that, and I must have had it on the straight, but Benny looking at trying to make a move back up the inside, and he does that successfully. A good move by Benny back up into 2nd place. Cavolis down into 3rd. But this is allowing Stewart just a little bit of a chance to stretch his legs. So I think Benny's probably going to be using his DRS now to close that gap. DRS now open, and he is back to within 3/10. So he wants to keep himself nice and close, and perhaps look for the move down into turn number 1. Right, anything happening further back? It all seems to have been a pretty good first lap so far. Looks like Guna again. Is that Guna or Rediat looking for a move? It was Rediat, yeah. Rediat looking for a move on, because Jack up to 5th position. That was a cracking start for him, considering he took the playing the joker tonight. And Benny now taking the lead, as we thought he might down the start-finish line. DRS. So Benny now needs to show what pace he's got. Ideally wants to get a second clear of Stewart as quick as he can, and then Stewart to be battling with the cars behind, just allowing him to stretch his legs. So lap number 3. I know we're not far in, but every car is still pretty much within a second of the car in front of them. So a good opening stint. So Rediat in 6th. Look at trying to make a move on Jack in front of him, and Bog just in front of him, so they could use each other to pull along. I mean, Bog still has DRS on the car in front being Cavolis, so they can still pull themselves back into contention here, although we do have that little bit of a gap now that's appearing between the two of them. Bog, I think, is going to get overtaken. He was not. I thought he was going to get overtaken by Jack then. Right, no moves further back. So yeah, it's all been very gentlemanly, following the lead so far, which is good to see. We've seen a few overtakes going down into turn number 1, obviously on that DRS straight there. The whole field is still bunched as well. We're still a long way, 24 laps to go. We've got the pit stops to take into account, potential of any safety cars. Oh, there's a bit of a slip and a slide from Stewart there, just coming out of this row 2, but manages to keep it together, heading up towards Ascari. Now pulling a small gap again on Cavolis. Oh, Stewart going a bit wide again there. So he's just, I think he perhaps got his tyres a little bit dirty or overheated, but look at that now. Benny over a second gone. He is out of the DRS zone. So Stewart here fighting for second place. Might have been better off letting Cavolis past and using the DRS. Meanwhile, Zetterable now moving up into 6th position. Bog must have had an incident. He's dropped down a couple. I think Bog, as always, playing the long game and doesn't really need to fight at the moment. But let's get back to the front. Cavolis has indeed got past Stewart and he's going to be going on the hunt of Benny now. So this again could close the field right up. Romero and Bog now having a battle. Bog coming off better off that. I think, dirty try there, Bog just onto the grass. Yeah, I think Romero going for a move up the inside, going into the second chicane. And didn't quite work for him. But unfortunately what that has done is it's dropped in a second behind Bogorovsky now, which meant Gould past, but it also means Bog has lost touch with the cars in front. So he needs to get that points screen back to get back in DRS. I don't think he's going to do it in time on this lap. So we could see the groups start to split here. So Jack now past his teammate Stewart into the pit. Stewart has had enough of those medium tyres already, 6 laps, and he is done, as is Relia, Bogorovsky and Guna. So let's see what tyres they've gone for. To the hards as expected. I'll now leave the tyre details up because we need to see who is on what. But after all this, Cavolis is in the lead now with Benny directly behind him. But Jack up to 3rd place, 1.6 seconds behind 2nd place. And he started from the back. Well, I don't think he was last, but he started. He didn't qualify basically because he's playing his Joker. So currently he'll be picking up 15 points for 3rd place, double it. So 30-point gain for Jack tonight if he finishes where he is. Obviously he'll be looking at trying to take the win and banking the whole 50 points as Connor did in Division 3. I think it was opening race of the season as well, but yeah, started off with a banker of 50 points, so not bad. But it also is a good way just to make it a little bit more exciting. You know, if you see that choker, potentially you can gain. So Benny now taking the lead from Cavolis as we have Jack now coming into the pits. And bolts on a fresh set of hards. Where's he going to come out in relation to his teammate? I think he is going to get jumped, but not by a huge amount. I think the undercut will probably have about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds on him. Let's have a look. He's lost the place already, so well, nearly 3 seconds. The undercut has gained on Stewart, but Jack will have that extra lap in the bag for later to go in the race. Bob down in 12th. If you look at doing a nice long stint on those hards now. Obviously the fronts have not pitted yet, but in a good position is Andre, position 6 on the hard tyres. They'll be coming into their own now, certainly against the medium, so he'll be looking to make a move on the cars in front. The cars in front are probably looking softer, so it's going to get some fresh rubber on. Cavolis just hanging on to the back of Benny, just within that DRS zone. Very close to the approach, and Benny now diving into the pits, locking up and picking up a 10-second time penalty. Zetterville up into 2nd position now, and Pipke up into 3rd, but Zetterville is closing on Cavolis. I think Zetterville just seems to deal with the tyres a bit better than a lot of people, and he just managed to keep it going. So all credit to him. If he could teach us, that would be absolutely grand. But we've got influx of pit stops now. Romero and Summers into the pits. position. Right, at the front, 1.3, 1.4 seconds now, taking into the bonus, so he is closing this in with 1.7 at the beginning of the last lap, so gaining around about half a second per lap, so within a couple of laps he will be putting him under a massive amount of pressure. Okay, so what's happening further back? Andre is indeed making his way up on those hard tyres. So closing on it. He's going to drop into the pits. The front two haven't. Is Pippi in pit? No, Pippi is going to take it for another lap as well. So Stuart 9.3 seconds behind Andre. We'll keep an eye just to see how that comes down. Down to 9.2. It is just a straight lead. It's going to get more of an effect on the tyres going through the corner. But Benny now making the move back up into fifth position. He doesn't have a 10-second time penalty that he will probably have to serve. I can't see him going to the end of the race on those separate cards. So he will need to come in to push that tyres on and will serve that 10-second then. Bolt putting in fastest lap of the race, 122. Obviously enjoying those new hard tyres. Should go a bit wide there, going to get dirt on his front left tyres, just going to drop the temperature down ever so slightly. But Ben's flying, mind you, he is on the medium, so he is going to be quicker than Stuart. But 7 seconds behind Andre. And Stuart further 1.8, so we're looking 7.6. So they are closing on Andre as expected on the pressure rubber. Summers there making a move up the inside of Romero at Ascari, but Romero now has the DRS. He's going to be sitting behind using his ERS, which he is around about 50% DRS Romero, or ERS Romero has. Summers has pretty much completed this, so he's going to overtake up the inside, so Romero taking that penultimate taking the position back from Summers, but Summers isn't going to give that up. It's going to be a bit of a battle going on here, but going back up towards the front, Andre now applying pressure on Pippi. Those medium tyres are going to be screaming, whereas Andre's not going to be feeling too bad on those hard tyres. Certainly could have a lot more grip and confidence. But as Benny 3.4 seconds behind, 3.2, that gap is closing dramatically. But what Benny doesn't want to do is overheat those mediums, otherwise he'll find that he'll have to come in earlier than expected for another set or some hard. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Into the pit. So I'm going to reserve judgment on that, which looked like Pippi just lost the back of the car, leaving Benny nowhere to go. But obviously we'll wait and see on that. There's only just an initial reaction. Quite sore. Guna looking for the move around the outside of Cavolis now. Cavolis has pitted, so we'll be on those hard tyres. Pippi also pits, obviously will get any damage that he had repaired. I don't know if Benny picked up any damage in that one. When we get a decent view, we'll see if he has any damage to his front wing at all. He does not. So good. So not too much out of that. I think Pippi might have been coming into the pits anyway, but I do think he just lost the back ends of the car, unfortunately leaving Benny nowhere to go. But Andre now taking the position back from Benny, or didn't, I'm not sure if he'd actually got past him. But Stuart now 2.7 seconds down the road with his teammate Jack, 1.5 seconds behind, Reddy at 1.3 seconds behind him, and Cavolis a further 2 seconds back, now coming under pressure from Gunnar. So back at the front here, Benny is now going to make the move, which he does for the lead. It's on Stewart. Central is pitted, sorry, yes. Gunnar, I think, is going to go for a move on Cavolis, but it looks like Cavolis managed to just pull away a little bit there. Okay, so Zetterville has pitted, fresh set of hard tyres. Gunnar still putting pressure on Cavolis. I think Andre might have made a small mistake because that gap at the front has now pulled out to 2 seconds. So I do wonder if he's made... dropped back a bit. Has he got any damage? Has he gone off? No damage. I think it is just tyre wear, but now Stewart is going to be all over the back of him, especially for the tyres have gone off. He lost nearly a second just through 1 second corners there. So Stewart now looking for a move up the inside. Takes second position quite easily. And Andre now giving up and coming into the pit, so Elliott will inherit full place. Two Mercedes in second and third position, and got 2 drivers in 4th and 6th. Bog taking, he made a position because of Andre in the pits. Andre is just coming out of the pits now in last position. That just goes to show how close this field is today, is the fact that one pit stop can take you from right near the front to right at the back. But all credit, it's been some good racing so far, been clean. Just a little bit of contact, but nothing that I would complain about as such. Rubbing his racing, I suppose. Yeah, Benny now 4 seconds clear of Stewart. So a few moves being made back here. Zetterville running wide there. He's going to put him now under pressure from Gunnar just behind. Gunnar looking, to be honest, if Gunnar's sensible, he stay behind to the DRS zone. Good. Has he done it? I can't remember the DRS zone is on here. I think he has. No, you see Zetterville let him pass so he could get to the DRS. That's what I was thinking, because he was tucked in behind. I can't quite remember where the DRS activation zone is right around, so it starts straight into the parabolic. So, yeah. Okay, so Benny leading the way, 4 seconds clear. Does have that 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane still to take. What's the potential of, not sure if he's got any warnings to play as well. So he's just stretching the lead slightly on Stewart. Jack quite happy just sitting behind his teammate. I think at the moment the bonus is in the DRS and the pair of them. So again, it's pretty a good place to be, to sit there, save the DRS. Got it to deploy if you need to, like now, with the 1.2 behind, deploy it, get yourself back within that DRS zone. As we know now, is just round after the parabolica. Protection zone, I think he's going to get it. Yeah, he is. He's managed to put it out. So yeah, he will be within the DRS. There's a little look down. Summers now putting some pressure again on Romero. So he looks like he's going to be back for most of the race. With Summers on the better tyres since lap 7 lap on hards and then Romero 7 lap on mediums. Okay, so the battle seems to be here then with Cavolis, Kazingle and Stewart. So the 2 Mercedes against the Red Bull. Which one's going to come that top of the boat. It certainly has the fresher tyres. Going to look for a move. He thinks about it on the outside. I think he's just letting Jack know he's there. Jack already knows he's there. Stewart comes into the pits. That leaves Jack on his own. Benny also into the pits as well. Don't forget Benny, he's going to serve that 10-second penalty. But Jack out on his own to try and stretch those legs, pull away from the Volis as best he can. 12 laps to go. So we are probably at the point of coming to the pressure of the hards on if they are that bad. But we've got Stewart into the pits. Andre makes up a place, obviously Benny in the pits. Guna has also pitted. There is Guna and Benny just ahead, but Benny has now served that 10-second penalty. So if with the cars pitting in front he can find some pace, he could still get himself up to the podium. I think a win might be a bit of a stretch for him now, but he could certainly be challenging for maybe fourth, maybe even third, depending on what happens up front. Volis now makes a move on Jack. I don't think Jack took that too hard. Jack will just sit behind now. Use the DRS. A bit further down, Andre and Stewart having a bit of a tussle. Making the move on Andre. Those fresh hard tyres. So he's still got something lap or two to get some heat into them, but he's still going to be in a better position for some of those mediums. Right, okay, Bob into the pits from 5th place. Where is he going to join? Romero pick up 10-second penalty for speeding in as well. So that will aid Summers in battle with Romero. Spitting feathers. Jack picking up 3-second penalty there. Cool curves in towards the end of the race. And so it's been fairly close. I mean, we've got a big gap to pit people. That is yeah, I mean that's the biggest it's been, but Pitby is chopping into that gap now, obviously with 5-lap fresh and hard tyres. Setable now taking the lead of the race, past Volis to first position with the freshest tyres of the front 5 as well. And Stewart to that bold. Stewart down. Stewart and Summers having a bit of a battle there, but it looks like Stewart has come out on top and takes 6th position. Summers will look to hold on as best he can. Got a 2.3-second gap back to Andre. Andre on those medium tyres, so a 3-second penalty for Summers there. So we're starting to get a few penalties coming in. I think there's a tyre where it kicks in and people start to lose the back end. It's quite easy just to run wide and pick up a warning. And as we know, 3 warnings gives you a 3-second penalty. Stewart is closing in on Pipke now, but Pipke only 11.5 seconds, was over 13 seconds behind Elliott a few laps ago. So he really is eating into that lead, but how many laps have we got? 9 laps to go, including the one that we're on. Saw somebody dive into the pits there, looks like Jack. Coming in, put a fresh set of mediums on, out into 6th place. He'll be able to get those to the end of the race without a problem. But he's going to go 3 wide into turn number 1. That's not what you want on cold tyre, straight out of the pits. But side by side, good racing actually. They really give each other a nice amount of respect and room. It does look like Jack is just going to hold on to it. Okay, so Jack will be off now. Get those medium tyres. He'll get up to temperature pretty quickly. Gunnar, I don't think he's going to stand in his way too much. In fact, I think he'll probably be happy to let him pass and then try and use him as a DRS mule to drag himself up to Andre. We've got some big gaps now opened up at the front. Zetterwald got the lead and is now 2.5 seconds past. So he seemed to be struggling in pre-season. So either he's got some practice in and got it together, or he might have had a few bags full of sand in the back of his car during pre-season. But nevertheless, still impressive. So 2.6 seconds clear now on the freshest tyre. Well, certainly the Cavoda's behind, but we've got an 18-second gap to Stewart in 3rd position. Right, so Jack, Gunnar and Benny all together here. Oh, Stewart picking up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That's going to make it easier for Pipke behind. Jack losing a position to Benny there. To stay within that second of Gunnar, which they are. Gunnar has closed in on Andre now, so we are pretty close to a battle there. Pipke has picked up a 3-second time penalty as well, so I think everybody has 3 seconds. We'll have a quick look at pens. 333. Oh, Romero with 10. That was for speeding in the pit lane. This is where the battle seems to be. Bog 5.9 seconds behind this group. You just see him in the background there, carrying around the end of Parabolica. Not sure if there's enough of the race left for him to catch up, but then if these guys do start fighting and slow each other down, well, it's down to 5.5 seconds now, so it's already half a second that he's gained. So yeah, you can see the gap tumble very, very quickly. Just trying to break clear if he can. 0.89, 1.1. I'm not sure. No, he didn't manage to do it. He was so close to breaking the DRS, but unfortunately, I think that DRS detection came just a little bit early for him. But it looks like Benny now making a move up the inside of Andre, pushing him slightly wide, and Jack comes in as well, goes on the inside, taking advantage of Andre going ever so slightly wide there. So they are now a change. So Benny up into 6th, in 7th is Kazingo, and Andre down into 8th. But that has given Gunnar the chance to pull out a couple of second gap on this group. So he can perhaps just rest easy for a couple of laps, not being under the pressure, having to worry about the DRS behind. Let them fight and see if he can, well, settle into 5th position. If not, mount a challenge on Pipke. Whoa, 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 who was that went wide? That was Jack, I think, doing a little bit of lawn mowing there. Now, I think sometimes you can be looking in the mirror a little bit too much, and then when you look up, you go, oh shit, shouldn't be here. But no harm done. So gap to Goon is still around the 2-second mark. It is coming down, but Jack does have that 3-second time penalty as well to think about. But Gooner, if he can just find a couple of seconds over these closing laps, could jump above Pipke. Outside chance of a podium, but unlikely, I think. Meanwhile, Bog now 2.1 seconds behind this group, so has closed in dramatically on that. He's going to make a move on Jack. That car looking a little bit dirty there after his off-track excursions on the last lap. Some good, well, we've had some good fighting. I mean, unfortunately it seems we've got some big gaps opening up all over the place now, so we won't have too much battling other than these two, Benny and Kazingle. Jesus, how has Setterall got 11 seconds clear? That is ridiculous. Right, okay, let's go back to this battle between Benny and Kazingle. But the order as we stand, we've got, there'll be 4 laps to go at the end of this one. Zetterall leading, Cavolis in second, Stewart in third, and Pipke in fourth. But both of those have 3-second time penalties. Guna currently in fifth, 4.7 seconds behind fourth place. Then we've got Benny in sixth, Benny in seventh now, with Kazingle up into sixth, but again Kazingle with that 3-second time penalty to serve at the end of the race. Bogorowski up into 8th position, Reliot in 9th, 10th is Romero, but with 10-second penalty to serve for speeding in the pit lane. Summers in 11th, and Andre currently down in last position. Right, let's jump back to this battle here. So again, Jack not fighting it. I think they're being sensible. They're just using each other maybe to try and pull in on doing it. They're doing 3.1 second gap now. I think it's just a matter of these two fighting probably till the last lap. And they go for position. But Zetterall 13 seconds clear of the bonus. Done 13 laps on those hard tyres. The bonus before behind it was done 14 laps. Not sure who has the fastest lap. Let's have a quick look. Fastest lap Benny with 121.790. Jack and Benny still battling away. It's the closest battle we've had. Just under a second, Jack is behind. But I think he's going to find those mediums are going to go off shortly, and Benny will find that those hards are a lot more manageable. In fact, Jack probably getting his last shot DRS there, unless he drains the DRS down there just to stay. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it return. So manages to keep it within that second, so we will get the DRS and continue this battle a bit further. Apart from that, everybody's spacing out. So not too much more I can follow than these. What we'll do is just jump out and get some scenic views for the last, what, 2 laps. We're on the penultimate lap already. Kavolis pretty much around to Ascari already. I think it would be rude not to give Zetterwall some TV airing time, because he again, I mean, he seemed early doors he was just back there. I think he qualified 9th, worked his way up and then sort of dropped up and down, but I mean the field was so close until probably the second round of pit stops, and then it spread out somewhat. But Zetterwall just keeping it solid, having good pace. I mean, now nearly 16 seconds clear of Kavolis. That is a dominant performance from him. So 1 lap to go for him as he heads down into turn number 1. Just want to keep an eye on Guna, because he has closed right in on Pipke as well. So Guna could be looking to take that 4th position on track. Doesn't need to make the overtake, because obviously because of the penalty that Pipke has. But it's still always nice to actually overtake them on the track. Kazingle now dropped back behind Benny, 1.9 seconds, nearly 2 seconds. So I think he's just going to nurse those tyres in. Got a 6-second gap to Bogorovsky behind him. So no real pressure, can just take that to the end of the race. And pick up some decent points. Obviously 7th position. Oh yeah, he'll stay in 7th. So what will it be? 6 points, double it 12. So get about 12 points for that. So not a bad return, although it was looking a darn sight better at one point. Right, let's get to the front, because Zetterwall is about to come around Parabolica for the 27th and final time to win. I think this is 3rd race of the season, or 2nd race of the season. Certainly not been off the podium every time he's raced. So Zetterwall, congratulations. 15.5 second gap to this man Kavolis, dragging that Red Bull on to the podium in 2nd place with no penalties. Stewart will bring home 3rd position, and we'll keep that as well because of the penalty situation. Pipke is going to finish in 4th, but lose that position to Guna and to Benny. So Pipke dropping down to 6th. Then Jack in 7th position, Kazingo in 7th. Bogorovsky coming across the line in 8th, with Reliot in 9th position. Summers in 10th when he crosses the line. Romero in 11th with that 10 seconds to serve. Will drop him, unfortunately, last behind Andre. So Romero, the last finisher, or the last classified finisher. So it's the tale of 2 halves, really, that race. I mean, the first half we're pretty close, and you know we had some decent, cleanish overtaking. But then, yeah, it seemed after that second pit stop, it spread out too much. And I mean, Zetterwall, when he got into the lead, it was almost like the man was possessed, and just disappeared. I think he was up at over 16 seconds. His lead was at one point. But yeah, many congratulations to him. He certainly grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and got this game working for him. We'll just watch the celebration, then we'll go through to the classified results. Oh, here we go. Are we going to be able to see them? Just waiting to see if it will allow us to see the results, or sometimes it just skips straight by it. I think we are going to end up back in the lobby, so I won't have the results to read out to you, but luckily I read them as they were crossing the start-finish line. So there we go. That was round number 4 for Division 2. We also had Division 3 racing tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't have a live stream for that. But feel free to look up and watch Division 1 from last night. That was a pretty good race, actually, especially as I say, turn 1 on the opening lap was pretty interesting as well. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have some more comms available so we can cover all 3 divisions next week. Obviously Division 1 will be competing on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and then Divisions 2 and 3 on Thursday. Grand Prix this weekend. Hope you enjoy it. Have yourself a nice time. I've been Nellboy, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.